Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. I hope you're all well wherever you are and whatever you're up to. I'm Lauren, and as you can see, I'm in my shop today, and I wanted to give you some inspiration for some dressmaking projects that you might want to sew now that it is autumn here in the UK anyway. And I have picked out 5 patterns from our big range of independent sewing patterns, and then 5 fabrics that go with them. But what I'll do is, as I'm sort of showing you the things that I've chosen, I'll just explain to you a little bit about why I've chosen that fabric, just so it starts to give you a bit more idea of like how you go about matching a fabric and pattern together, because I know that especially when you shop online, that is one of the things that can be quite tricky to sort of work out, or if you're a beginner as well, it's always a bit of a minefield trying to work out what is best in terms of pattern and sewing pattern and fabric matching. So the first thing that I've chosen is the Naena Elite Carnaby dress, this one here, which is just quite a simple sort of shift dress, but it has some little other details in it which just make it a little bit different, I guess, or a bit more exciting. So it's actually got a seam between the front bodice and the front skirt section, so you've got little inseam pockets there, which is nice, and then you also have an exposed zipper at the back as well. And the pattern is recommending medium weight woven fabrics. So when it says medium weight, you need to think about something that's going to sort of hold its shape reasonably well. If you get something that's too floppy, then it's not really going to hold that sort of straighter structure of the dress. So medium weight woven fabrics such as lightweight denim, corduroy, lightweight wool or cotton sateen, they're all fabrics that hold their shape nicely. So I've picked out a wool just because we get asked a lot what fabrics are sort of warmer to sew with at this time of year. And if you get a fabric that has got wool in it, it will definitely be warmer. Wool is very insulating and will keep you cozy. This particular one that I've chosen is a wool mix, so it's not 100% wool. I'll just check what the percentages are. So it's 67% wool, virgin wool, and then 17% polyester, 13% polyamide and 9% silk. So it does feel pretty soft, like I wouldn't say that it felt particularly itchy against your skin or anything. And it's quite a kind of charcoaly sort of grey colour, but then it has these really, really lovely little multicoloured flecks in it just to make it a bit more interesting. So when you open it out, if I open a little bit out here just to show you, and then you can get an idea of what it's like. So it's not like really stiff, as in it doesn't sort of move at all, but it does have a nice bit of structure to it, and I think that would sit really nicely in a dress. You could also use that to make a skirt, or more like a sort of pinafore dress that you would maybe layer up over with a long sleeve t-shirt or something. It's too lightweight really for like a coat, but maybe like a blazer or something, you could use it for that. But yeah, that's really nice. So the next ones that I've chosen are all sort of separate, so kind of mix and match. They could go together. I've kind of sort of put it like 2 outfits almost, but you could just slot it into your other handmade wardrobe items. So the next thing that I've got is the Closet Case Patterns Ebony Tee, which is this one here, and I am actually wearing one today. So it comes with 3 different length versions. There's a cropped version, a tunic version and a dress version as well. So at the moment I've got on the cropped version, but I have lengthened it. I think I lengthened it maybe about 5 centimetres. And as you can see, I'm quite heavily pregnant right now, and it's still fitting me because it's got this really, really loose sort of A-line shape. So with this type of pattern, you need a fabric that has got a lot of drape in it. So it is designed for knit fabric, so you need something that's stretchy, knitted, some jersey fabric. And it's got to be light to medium weight drapey knits with at least 30% crosswise stretch. So it doesn't really matter too much what it's actually made of. It's more that it has those properties, that it's stretchy, that it's drapey and lightweight, and that it has this 30% crosswise stretch. Now remember to check the percentage of stretch in a fabric. If you lay the fabric out and keep it relaxed, and then just hold a ruler or a measuring tape along the fabric, and then mark out a sort of 10 centimetre section, stretch the fabric to where it will sort of comfortably stretch to, and so then if it's stretched to 13 centimetres, that would be 30% stretch. So that's a way that you can work out if your fabric's stretchy enough. We do try to add the amount of stretch that's in all of our fabrics onto the listings on the website. But if we've ever missed one or you're not sure, you can always just drop us an email or give the shop a call and we can like check the percentage of stretch for you. So the fabric that I've chosen is this gorgeous viscose one here. So if a jersey's ever got viscose or rayon or modal in it, that is going to be drapey. They're the type of fibres that tend to float and kind of move around a lot more. Cotton jersey tends to hold its shape a little bit more. So I guess there's no reason why you couldn't use it with the ebony, but you would just have to be aware that it would feel kind of fuller because it wouldn't drape as much. So that's why I've gone for a viscose one. And you can see when I hold it up that it's really kind of like floaty, swishy. It kind of crushes up in your hand really nicely. It's got a lot of drape. It just sort of hangs really beautifully, and this print's just really fun as well. We do have lots of other printed viscose jerseys too, and we also do a lot of plain modal jerseys that would be good for this too. That's what this one is. This is a plain micro modal jersey. So and you can see that it's quite floppy as well, which is what you're looking for. So that is the ebony, and you could use that nice lightweight viscose one to make any of the versions, like the top, the tunic, or the dress, depending on what length you like. And then the next one that I've gone for is an old classic. You'll have heard me talk about this before if you've watched my videos or read my blog in the past. Is another Closet Case Patterns, and it is the ginger jeans. These are just the ultimate lovely classic jeans. They're designed for stretch denim, so they're a bit more fitted, but you can choose between a high rise or a mid rise at the waistband, and then you can have a skinny fit in the leg or more of just like a sort of straight, I think they call it stovepipe fit in the leg, so it's just sort of a bit straighter. But it's never been a better time to make jeans. There's loads of denims out there that you can get. There's loads of resources online to help you, sew alongs, fitting guide things that you can download, fitting courses, online courses, and this pattern is really good. I've probably made, including samples that I've made for the shop, I don't know, I must have made like maybe almost 7 pairs of ginger jeans, and they're just really fun to make and not as hard as you would think either. You just need to take it step by step. But I have chosen some of our new Robert Kaufman, I'm going to get the name right, Laredo stretch cotton. It's 95.5% cotton, 3.5% polyester, and then it's just got 1% spandex, so it's got that nice bit of stretch in it, which is what you need for this pattern. And it's just in a really lovely like classic dark denim colour. It's called indigo, but as with all denim, it will naturally fade over time, and you'll get those lovely sort of characteristics that you get in jeans where they sort of wear in certain parts and the colour of the fabric becomes lighter. But it's a really, really lovely one. It's not too heavy, but it's not too lightweight either. I think it pairs perfectly with the gingers. And also, if you're watching this when it just comes out right away, we also have some ginger jeans notion kits. We'd put it together for the show that we'd done in London, and we still had some kits left over. So they basically have all the hardware in them that you would need to make it. So they've got the jeans buttons, the rivets, needles, top stitch needles, the zip, and top stitch thread. So you just need to have your denim and thread that matches the denim to go with it. And of course we've got the pattern as well, but we do just sell the pattern like separately on its own too. So yeah, I would really encourage you, if you've been thinking about making jeans, just go for it, because it is, I was like nervous about it the first time I did it too, but once you've done it, you realise, oh, actually it's not as bad as I thought it would be. And you get a pair of jeans, and if you're anything like me, you wear jeans all the time. So it's very rewarding, because you get a lot of wear out of a pair of jeans when you make them. So the next pattern that I've chosen is a new one that has come out, so you've probably seen it if you're on Instagram. You'll have heard people chat about it already, and it is the Tilly and the Buttons Indigo, which is like a smock dress. And I have started to just see some really lovely versions of this pop up, so I thought I would include it in this little selection. You can see from the photograph and then the illustrations on the back as well that it's very, very gathered, so it's more fitted over the shoulders and the bust. It's got bust darts, but then it does have this real fullness in the sort of bottom section of it. So you can either make it as a top with gathered bits on the sleeves or straight sleeves, and then you can either just have like traditional gathers, or you can, the way that you sew that bottom section on and put it together with the top section, you can make it so that there's almost like a little frill above the gathers, which looks really cute too. So the pattern is suggesting light to medium weight. It's got to be woven fabrics with a drape. So it's suggesting cotton lawn, chambray, viscose or rayon, tencel, double gauze, crepe de chine or georgette. So it has to be something that is really kind of fluid and moves around quite a lot, or it's very lightweight like cotton lawn. And that is just because the gathers are so full. If you use something that is a bit thicker, it's going to feel very voluminous with all of those gathers, whereas if you have something lightweight with drape, it's going to hang into those gathers much better. So I have chosen this absolutely beautiful viscose crepe. It's an Atelier Brunette one, and it is the Dune print in the maple colourway. It's quite a hard colour to sort of pick up in photos and in the when I take a little video, but it's quite a sort of blushy pink colour. It's darker than nude. It's not darker, it's like warmer than nude, like it's more pinky than nude, I would say. And then it's got these really lovely little sort of flecks of a maroony colour on it, and lots of little spots too. But you can see that the way that it moves around and drapes is just gorgeous. It would just work perfectly with this style of top. It's really, really soft, it's really floaty. It's opaque as well, you totally can't see through it, so great if you want to make the dress version, you wouldn't have to line it or anything. And I think it's just a really, really lovely choice for this. This type of fabric can be a little bit trickier to work with, but I have done a separate video on like viscose and floaty drapey fabrics. I did that a while ago, I think it was at the beginning of the year, and there's some tips in that in terms of how to work with them. You just need to use lots of pins and a bit of a finer needle, a little bit more patience because it does slip around a lot, but worth it when you have a beautiful garment at the end. And then the last thing that I have chosen, quite a practical make. I made a pair of these quite early in my pregnancy, but it isn't a pregnancy pattern, it's just a normal pattern, and it is the Megan Nielsen Virginia leggings. So they come with 2 rise options, so you can either have low rise or you can have a high rise, and of course it's designed for stretchy fabric because it's leggings, so it says that they've got to have at least 40% stretch. And of course you want something that's sort of thick enough or kind of heavy enough that when you sit down and you bend over, you bend your knees, that it's not going to just become opaque and kind of see-through, right? So I have chosen some of our jersey loop back, which is modal, so it's really, really lovely and soft, and it's got a really great weight to it. So the leggings that I made were in the navy colourway of this. We do have this fabric in lots of different colours. Some of them may show out as stock at the moment, but we always kind of have them on reorder, like we always get them in. So if you're ever looking for them or anything on our website and it says out of stock, it's always worth just emailing us and we can let you know when it's back in again. So I'll open a little bit out and you can see how it is really nice and drapey, but obviously in the legging it's going to be stretched around your leg, so it wouldn't necessarily drape, but just so you can get an idea of kind of what the fabric sort of looks like. It's really lovely and soft, it's so nice to wear, it washes really well. I've like worn the leggings loads and washed them and it's been lovely. And so just on the reverse it has those little loops, that's what gives it, that's why it's called loop back. So it does have a really nice sort of thickness and opacency that when you kind of stretch it, it doesn't go like really thin and see-through, so I think it's perfect for this. The pattern is so quick to make because each leg is just one bit of fabric, so it just has a seam on the inside leg, and then of course you put your waistband on the top with the elastic, but it's great to layer over other things. Like if you made the longer version of the indigo dress, this would look really, really nice underneath it. So I just think a pair of leggings is always useful, isn't it? Especially if you're trying to get more wear out of something that was maybe a bit more summery, but you just want to wear something thicker than tights, then leggings are always a good option, aren't they? So I hope that's given you some ideas for things that you can do at this time of year. So I'll link to the blog post that goes with this video in the description, and that's got links to all of the fabrics and the specific patterns that I've talked about, which you can all get online, and we ship worldwide as well. But thanks so much for watching, guys. If you've got any questions, then it's best to just email the shop. I'll put the email address in the description for that as well. It's info@guthrie-ganny.co.uk. The girls that work in the shop monitor that 6 days a week, so it's the best place to get a sort of quicker answer. I may or may not have had my baby by the time that this video comes out, so I'm not sure how available I'll be to answer comments, but you can always leave a comment anyway, and I will see it. I will see it eventually. I do check in with them fairly regularly, but obviously with a baby it's a little bit more harder to predict when. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, just remember to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on my next video, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.